understand here, or you want to calculate it in the regular way?
What is the most simplest way?
This one is simple.
Okay, so now what do we explain it again?
So you know here the initial speed is 2 at 1 second. 1 second. At 3 seconds, the speed is -2. And the acceleration is constant, given the acceleration is constant. So how to calculate the average velocity? It's the same as the first question when we talk about average velocity. You can calculate the distance and divided by the time. Or you can get the initial time velocity and the final velocity. And then average these two. You will get the average velocity in this region. It's going to be 0.
Okay.
And this is 2 seconds. 0 times 2 seconds. So the particle didn't move at all. Maybe it moved and move back.
Okay.
Okay. And then from 3 seconds to 6 seconds, the initial speed is -2. Here the speed is 0 because it's on this axis. It's 0, the speed is 0. Right? So the average speed is going to be -1. And if it's -1, and it's how many seconds?
6
From here to here.
or 3?
Yes.
But how is it -1?
Because here the speed is -2. It's -2. And here is 0. And the average is equal to V at 3 seconds, V at 6 seconds, the average, okay? And 3 seconds is -2, 0 will be -1. So if you calculate the speed, the distance in move, it's gonna be -3. And it tells you the initial position is 2, at 2 meters. -3 is gonna be -1. So this one is D. It's D, -1. So if you don't understand this way, I can tell you another way to calculate.
What is the other way?
The other way is, this way you use the information from the graph, so you don't need to calculate, right? From the graph, you know the velocity here and here and here. The other way is from this, from the graph, you can get the function. From if t is in this region, from 0 to 3, velocity will be this. If you get this point, 0, here is 0, 4, here is 2, 0. So you can get the function. You know how to do that, right?
I'll just do it the other way because I don't understand this way.
So from the graph, can you get the function of this line?
How did you get -2t?
The slope, that's the slope.
Oh, from 0 to 3 is -2.
Yes. So this way is more difficult.
Yeah.
So the first way is,
I'll do the first way.
if you see a line, you can just take the initial speed, the initial velocity, and the final velocity. Average is going to be the average velocity in this region. So because here you know is 2 is -2, so average is 0 here, and the average here from 3 seconds to 6 seconds is -1. So you have the initial position 2, and then you plus 0, here is 2 seconds, here is -1 plus 3 seconds, you got -1. That's the question. So the only thing you need to memorize is there's velocity initial and velocity final. If you take the average, that's going to be the average. But it only applies when the acceleration is constant.
How do you know it's going to be over 2?
You take the average of these two values. So for example, I run. Right now, my speed is 0. And then I constantly accelerate to 6 meters per second. So what's my average speed during this distance? It's going to be, take the average. So it will be 3. So you don't understand how we got this 0. The speed, the velocity here is 0, average velocity.
I understand, I just didn't know how you got the 2.
Which 2?
You divided it by 2.
Yeah, that's the average of these two.
But how you got the second? Where do you get that from?
2? Get the 2 from?
Right, because wouldn't the average be over the change in time?
So there are 2 ways. It's the same as when we discussed the first question. There are 2 ways to calculate the average.
See, I know how to
velocity.
do the average velocity is
So
the change in position over the change in time. That's the way I know.
Yeah,
That's the way I know.
that's the average velocity. Okay? But the other way is you have 2 time points, 1 and 3. You have the velocity here, and then you have the velocity here. So the average will be the average of these 2 values. What's the average of these 2 values? It's going to be
3 minus 1, which would be 2.
It has nothing to do with the time. So you don't need to consider the time.
But it's between 1 and 3, the time.
Yeah, in this case it's 1 and 3. It's between 1 and 3.
And
In
that's
this
how
case,
you
it's
got
3 and
2.
6.
Because it's 3 minus 1.
No,
That would be the change in time,
these two,
right?
These 2 is because you have 2 values here. Because you have 2 values, that's why you put a 2.
So if you had 3
It's
values,
not
it would
the
be a 3.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
But in this case, it's going to be 2 values only. You have an initial speed and then a final speed, a final velocity. So you won't have 3 values.
Okay.